Are you on the same page or are you reading completely different books? Let's find out what is the energy of this connection to begin with. So, the energy of the connection, High Priestess, Two of Wands, and Seven of Wands. Overall energy, Seven of Swords. There is a lot that is unsaid. There is defensiveness. There is avoidance. Um, this is, if I had to describe this in two sentences, I would say there are thoughts that aren't being spoken, there are feelings that are not being expressed, and decisions that haven't been made yet. See, I notice silence, but not the kind of silence that comes from indifference. This is where somebody is holding back. It's like both of you know more than you're saying here. Both of you are somewhere feeling connected on an energetic spiritual level, sensing more than you're admitting. There is a sense of awareness here in this connection. Neither side, seems fully comfortable putting things into words here. Somebody's looking ahead, somebody's asking themselves, what happens next? Where does this go from here? um, I get a feeling of standing at crossroads, not because there are no feelings, but because there are choices to be made, and somebody is not willing to make those choices. And that's where Seven of Wands comes in, where um, instead of moving towards each other, there's a tendency to stand guard and wait for the other person to make the first move. Also, somebody here is being stubborn and wanting to put like their point across. Okay, this has to be done this way only, it has to be done my way only, I will not take action, I will take action in my own time, when it is convenient for me. And that's why the Seven of Swords is where somebody's avoiding decisions again. See, avoiding saying the things that would change everything, avoiding doing the things that are needed here, avoiding difficult conversations, running away from taking accountability. That's what's happening here. So the current energy feels like two people who are very much affected by the connection, but they are not showing that. There are feelings, there are thoughts, there are future considerations, but at the same time, it's not being spoken about openly. Connection is not giving me an ending energy, it's giving me an unspoken energy here. Let's see, what is your person's current energy in this connection? Temperance, Page of Pentacles, Five of Cups, overall energy, Eight of Pentacles. This person, they want to have balance, they want things to happen gradually. This person is someone who's trying to get themselves back into emotional balance as well. um, they're trying to understand their feelings rather than you know uh, be controlled by them. This doesn't feel like someone who's in a rush, it doesn't feel like someone making any impulsive decisions here. This is like, let me think this through, I will decide this later, let me keep this on hold, I'm not going to do anything about it. um, Now, what's interesting is that Temperance comes after High Priestess energy here. Um, the connection itself felt silent. The person feels reflected with Temperance, and almost like they're internally processing much more than they are externally expressing here. Page of Pentacles is, despite all the caution, this person is not mentally closed the door. This is still, you want to work towards building something, some practical step, um, thinking about the possibility, asking themselves, could this still become something? This is, like somebody examining things, trying to understand whether there's still something worth investing here. If you look at him, he's looking at this pentacle, almost wondering, what do I do with it? Where can I invest this? Should I invest this? Should I take this forward? What should I do? Um, it's not a grand romantic energy, it's a very practical energy. It's someone wondering whether a small step could eventually lead to something bigger. Now, Five of Cups, underneath all of this, there is definitely sadness. There is, you know, I don't know if this person is disappointed by how things unfolded, disappointed by the missed opportunities, disappointed by what wasn't said or disappointed by choices that were made. But there's definitely an element of looking backwards and wishing something had gone differently here. Eight of Pentacles, this is trying to improve things, trying to understand the whole situation, trying to fix something. See, this is where this person is working on themselves as well here. um, Eight of Pentacles says, okay, let's do the work. We have to, put in the effort. We have to be consistently working on this in order to be able to create this. So, see, this person's energy doesn't seem closed off. It feels a little thoughtful, a little reflective. It's somebody who is still emotionally connected to you, to the story, still affected by what happened, and still quietly evaluating what could happen next. So, see, this is where, I would say some people process their feelings by talking about them, and other people, they process their feelings by trying to improve the parts of themselves that those feelings exposed. And I think possibly this person is the second one. Now, if this reading is resonating with you, to subscribe to the channel. Let's see, what is your energy currently in this connection? The Tower, Ten of Swords, Six of Swords. Overall energy is Devil. Something has happened that's shaken you up. This is where you are maybe trying to even understand what happened. You have been through an earthquake here. You're feeling betrayed. You don't think you're looking at this connection the same way you once did. There was a moment where something became impossible for you to ignore. A realization, a disappointment, a truth, a wake-up call. Something happened, it just shook you. There was a tower moment for you. Everything kind of collapsed for you here. But it also made you, it helped you see things clearly. You were hurt. This is not just disappointment. This is feeling betrayed, stabbed in the back. This is where you were carrying a lot of questions, uncertainty, hope, confusion. But you reached a point where you said, I can't keep doing the same thing anymore. I can't do the same way anymore. Um, See, the the Six of Swords is where um, you're moving forward. There is maybe slow movement, but movement is there. You're trying to move away from this chaos. You are trying to move away from the disappointment, the hurt, the pain. You're trying to recover here. Now, Devil is where you get stuck here. See, there's still an attachment to this person. There's still something that keeps pulling you back, your attention back towards this person, this connection, this story. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I do think that you are caught between the two truths. It's like, I know I need peace and I still care. That's where you need to decide. See, Devil feels like a tug of war here, where a part of you is trying to move forward, but the part of you, it's still emotionally invested here. So when I compare the two sides, your person is reflecting, processing, trying to find balance, quietly evaluating. You are rebuilding, recovering, trying to move towards peace, but still emotionally attached here, entangled here. See, what's fascinating here is that neither side is actually looking detached to me, okay? Both of you are looking like you are affected, but you're affected in different ways, is what I see. Let's see, is this person worth waiting for? Since this person has made you go through tower moment, Ten of Swords, betrayed your trust, lied to you, is this person really worth the wait? Should you be waiting for them? Nine of Cups, High Priestess, Three of Cups, overall energy, Queen of Cups. God, so much cup energy. In short, there is a lot of emotional investment here. See, this is saying Nine of Cups is, your happiness cannot be sitting on the other side of someone else's decision. What is it that makes you happy? What is it that, will bring you the emotional satisfaction that you are seeking here? High Priestess is telling you that you already know intuitively what you deserve. Okay. Um, Three of Cup reminds you that your life is meant to be lived. It's meant to be enjoyed, experienced, not put on hold. Don't put your life on hold because somebody is not sure what they want to do. They're not able to make a decision. They are constantly putting you in a place of uncertainty. Don't build your life around the waiting area of this person's choice. See, Queen of Cups is emotionally mature enough to love and still choose herself. So I won't say that close your heart, but then also don't let yourself drown in emotions for somebody who is not willing to uh, make a choice that they know it is important to make in order to um, keep the sanctity of the relationship, or it's the right thing to do because they have hurt you enough and it's time to take accountability for that. Okay, let's see. Will this person reach out to my viewers and by when? Temperance, King of Wands, Ace of Cups, overall energy, the Star. This person is going to reach out. Okay, this is going to be gradual. I don't see like a dramatic thing happening here because Temperance brings in slow, gradual energy. They're trying to approach the situation carefully. They don't want to be impulsive here. They want to get their emotions, thoughts, intentions, everything aligned. So if communication comes, which I feel is going to come, it's not going to be random. This is going to be considered thoughtful. And if they don't come with a thoughtful communication conversation, I think you should just ask them to get lost. I mean, even after putting you through Tower and Ten of Swords, if they can't be thoughtful and considerate, then what's the point, right? Now, King of Wands is where the action starts showing up. King of Wands doesn't sit and wait around for anyone. This is where he moves forward. This is where this person reaches out. It won't be because they accidentally thought about you one day. This is where they made a conscious decision to do so. So there's confidence here, there's initiative here, there's purpose here. So only if this person comes with purpose, take them back. Otherwise, you go back in same loop. Now, Ace of Cups is where, see, there's a desire to express something that has been sitting in their heart. This is where it could be an apology, it could be a confession, simply a question, or reopening communication. But this is emotional movement rather than emotional avoidance, unlike that Seven of Swords that came in earlier. And Star is not a fantasy energy. This is hope. This is where maybe the story isn't finished. So I would say most likely uh, communication will come within 4 to 8 weeks. Strongest window I see is 5 to 7 weeks here. It will see, this person needs to process certain things and then the communication will happen. See, let's see what is the guidance for you here. What is the guidance for my viewers at this point? What should they know? Seven of Cups, Three of Swords, Five of Swords. Overall energy is justice. Be fair to yourself. That's the main thing that I hear with this. This person has already been so unfair to you. They have they've hurt you. They've betrayed your trust. They have lied to you. They have maybe hidden things. See, you've been thinking about what this connection could be, what it might become, what it would look like if everything worked out. There's just too much going on in your mind. Um, but Seven of Cups, asks something very important. Are you in love with what is, or are you in love with what could be? Because those are very different things. And sometimes we suffer not because of what happened, but because of what we imagine could have happened. Three of Swords asks for courage. Um, Not the courage to hold on, but to acknowledge the hurt and pain that has been caused, the healing that needs to happen. Um, Courage to admit that, something disappointed you here, something that you put a lot of trust in. Courage to stop minimizing your own pain. Stop justifying the other person's actions. That's just minimizing your pain. They knew what they were doing. They knew they were hurting you in a certain way, but they did it anyways. So they are minimizing it anyways. Why are you minimizing your pain? Um, See, you've spent too much time understanding this other person's perspective that you've forgotten to honor your own experience. And that is what this is asking you. Yes, maybe they were confused, maybe they were struggling, but that doesn't erase the impact of their actions on you. That is something that you need to acknowledge here. Five of Swords, what are you still fighting for? Are you fighting for the connection, or are you fighting with reality? Is something that you need to ask yourself, because sometimes we exhaust ourselves trying to win a battle that nobody else is participating in. If the other person is not fighting for it, why are you alone fighting? You can't fight alone for something, right? Especially a relationship. Trying to get a closure from a person who created the confusion, is that even worth your time and energy? See, you don't have to win every battle to win your peace. Your peace is more important here. And justice, like I said, this is stop judging this connection by potential. Judge it by the actions of this person, judge it by its consistency, judge it by what happened, not just what was promised. Don't go by somebody's words. Words are meaningless if the actions don't follow through here. See, give yourself the same compassion you've been given to this person or other people in life. Um, See, if there's one thing that I feel you really need to take from this guidance is that you're allowed to miss someone and still recognize they hurt you. You're allowed to love someone and still expect better from them. You're not supposed to lower your standards because the other person feels it is okay to breadcrumb you. You're allowed to hope for reconciliation and still refuse to settle for less than what you deserve. I hope this gave you some clarity. Thank you for watching.